Today, I want to talk about something that many of us know all too well. What happens when your Christian faith and your real-life anxiety collide? That strange tension between the peace you're promised and the panic you actually feel. You've prayed for calm, but your heart still races. You've read, "Do not be anxious about anything," but anxiety still finds its way in. And if you've ever thought, "What's wrong with me? Maybe my faith just isn't strong enough." Friend, you are not alone. The truth is, this isn't new. God's people have wrestled with fear and anxiety for centuries. Even the greatest saints have carried heavy hearts. Charles Spurgeon, one of the most famous preachers in history, once said, "I find myself frequently depressed, perhaps more so than anyone else here." Yet through that darkness, Spurgeon learned something powerful. Our struggles don't separate us from God. They can actually lead us closer to Him, because we come to know a Savior who truly understands suffering. Now, not all anxiety is the same. There's the kind that comes and goes, like walking through a haunted house. It's scary, but it passes. And then there's the kind that follows you home. You wake up with it, you go to sleep with it. You carry it in your body and your thoughts. That kind of anxiety isn't just spiritual, it's emotional, physical, relational. It touches every part of who we are. That's why the quick "just pray about it" advice can sometimes do more harm than help. I've heard it called the Bible bandage. Someone sees your pain and slaps a verse on it like a band-aid on a deep wound. But when it doesn't heal right away, you end up feeling even more broken. Friend, please hear this. Your struggle does not mean your faith is weak. It means you're human and in need of grace. When we look at the Gospels, Jesus met people right in the middle of their worries, real people with real fears. Fear of sickness, fear of losing loved ones, fear about the future. And Jesus didn't shame them. He met them with compassion and truth. He taught that anxiety is often a clue, a signal pointing to where our hearts are clinging too tightly to something temporary. And in that moment, it becomes an invitation to trust Him more deeply. Think of the disciples in the storm. Winds howling, waves crashing, panic rising, and Jesus asleep in the boat. They had the Prince of Peace right there with them, but fear had drowned out their faith. So they woke Him up, and with just a few words, "Peace, be still," the sea grew calm again. That story reminds us Jesus doesn't promise a life without storms. He promises His presence in the storm. So how do we hold on to that presence when our hearts are racing? How do we let that truth sink deep into our souls? Christians for centuries have practiced what we call holy stillness, creating space for God in the middle of chaos. One way is Christian meditation, not emptying your mind, but filling it with truth, letting verses like Psalm 46:10 wash over you. "Be still and know that I am God." Another is breath prayer, simple, physical, and powerful. Take a short verse and tie it to your breathing. Inhale, "When I am afraid." Exhale, "I put my trust in you." Psalm 56 verse 3. One breath at a time, one prayer at a time, until your heartbeat begins to slow and you remember God is near. This isn't about trying harder to earn peace. It's about making room for peace to find you. Through prayer, through quiet, through worship, through community, God meets you right there in the middle of the mess. Because biblical peace, shalom, is not the absence of trouble. It's the presence of Jesus. It's wholeness. It's knowing that even when everything feels uncertain, you are still held by a faithful God. So let me leave you with this question. In the storm you're facing right now, what would it look like for you to simply turn your eyes toward Jesus? To say, "Lord, I know you're here in my boat, because you are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. And even now," He whispers, "Peace, be still."